I'm a little pressed for time, so I'm gonna try to go real quick. I was just thinking about this. On yesterday, we threw a party back home for my mother and father. We had about 50 guests, and that's what we planned for, 50 guests. It ended up being about 40 adults and 10 kids. So for my scenario that I'm gonna give you, let's say 40 adults, and just assume the kids were adults as well. So let's say 50 adults. 50 adults in this scenario, which is true. Can you imagine what 50 people can accomplish financially? Let's just say every adult there, if I gave them the challenge to reconvene in 6 months with $1,000, and I said $1,000, I don't know what people financial situations are. They might already have it, or it might can come up with it. But my point is, if I gave everybody the challenge to reconvene in 6 months with $1,000, that's $50,000 between the 50 of us, right? And let's just say I gave you another 6 months, and now that's $100,000. Can you imagine the things that we can do with that we can leverage that for as a group? See, wealth building is a team sport. We have to pool our resources together to build something greater. If I say 2 years, then, so that's $200,000. Imagine what we can buy into or leverage for as a group to increase that by even more. Or we could start a franchise, buy into a franchise, leverage into that, and continue to build. So it's important for families and friends to get along, just for the sake of a relationship or relationships, but also if we got along and there's trust between everybody, and we let the people that are financially savvy help the whole group build something even greater. But I think the problem with a lot of us, and not just in our group, is that we don't trust each other when it comes to money, or we don't trust each other when it comes to relationships. And I'm not talking about my part of 50. I'm just talking about people in general. There's a lack of trust in trying to build extreme wealth. That's not a whole bunch of money for all of us to come together. And even if we said $500 or 200, just imagine the things that we could do to grow the group, to produce for future generations. But it's getting everybody on the same page. I was telling someone that I personally don't like small talk, and that's not to belittle anyone, anything like that. But I can't do. I mean, I guess I'm capable of it, but I prefer to talk about things like how can we grow our money, what's a good investment, and I'll talk sports, because my kids was sports people. I'll talk sports, and I enjoy that. I'm saying I'd rather be talking, how can we grow our money? And I realize everybody don't want to talk about that or talk about it in at the time that I want to talk about it. I'm just saying it's easy for me if we're talking about how we can be making moves, or we can talk about our last move, because that's an example of how we can get better. But I generally want to talk about what is our next move, how we're going to grow our empire together. Now, Steve McBride and his McBride 5, we're building an empire, right? But I also want to include everybody else that's in contact with me. How can we expand our territory together? How can we build an empire of our own? Thank you for watching. I got to go. Got to go to my traditional 9 to 5, but I'll get back with y'all later.